let's see. Okay. So I'm on my phone. I don't know if that will work, but um, there we go. Hey Hudson. Well, I guess I'll just start doing it on my phone because the internet for my computer can be um, weird. Um, just for some reason. But Joseph was asking about when we DFA'd De La Cruz. I don't exactly know. It might have been when Jared Kelnick went down to AAA. I am not sure. But I think we're in a good spot. Obviously, yesterday's loss was annoying. With the Rockies being the way they are, but I think you take the positive that Chris Sale was amazing, and 14 and 16 after the way we started. You take that and you run with it. 0 and 7 to 14 and 16, 4 consecutive series wins. It's been a lot of musical chairs, but being able to find a stabilization sort of in the outfield with Verdugo. Yeah, I want that bird guy. That bird guy, very good. And Halverson or whatever his name is, that would be nice. But I think the Halverson kid's really young, so maybe the Rocks finally hit on a guy or two, which would be nice. But I'd take Jake Bird right now in the Braves bullpen. Um, but I think it's nice to understand that yeah, I mean a 4-2 road trip, the 4 home run game, and hi Charles, and being able to still win that game and having chances to win both of the ones we lost. And we've been in the majority of every single game, and the starting pitching has been what's up. The starting is pitching has been up and down, but for the most part, recently they've kept us in the ball game. You know how much I've been critical of Bryce Elder, but he's figured it out of late. So I mean, I guess not figured it out, but kept us in the ball game and limited damage and given us 6. Hey Stacy, Ozzy Albies, I don't know. He's got the pop-up syndrome. I think he might be compensating for his wrist or something, but he's just getting under it. So hopefully that means he's just missing the baseball, but I do think that he needs to be in the 7 spot or lower. Until he figures out the runners in scoring position thing. For sure. I think that that's a big issue. But I don't think we're not gonna not see Ozzy, and I think he's still done some really good things at the plate. So, or better at bats. I mean, he's been frustrating for sure, but I don't know exactly what the tonic is, but he knows the issue. Everybody knows the issue, so hopefully we'll be able to figure that out there. But Ian Anderson being back in the minors and De La Cruz being claimed by the Yankees has given the Braves two open roster spots. Could be Craig Kimbrell or something or the other. I'm not sure why we haven't gotten an update on Ronald. I don't want to speculate anything. As long as Eddie is just a pinch hitter, it's fine. I was a little surprised that he got a spot start yesterday, but yeah, it's a vibe thing. But I don't know. I don't know really how much Eddie has left in the tank, if I'm being honest. But he knows the system, knows the roles. I don't think there's much to it. When Ronald comes back, that'll probably be the likely roster casualty. But again, AA never stops trying to improve the team. So I don't know. It's not my favorite, but it's not an issue. I mean, he did make a couple of good defensive plays. But his at-bats were scratchy. But again, he knows the system. He knows what he's doing. So I don't think much of it. Stuart Fairchild or Eddie Rosario will be gone once Ronald comes back anyway. So, and I don't know what to make about the no updates for Ronald. But I'm not gonna. I think Kelenic stays down there for a while. He needs consistent at bats, and I don't think he's a guy that you can carve out a bench role. Honestly. And I just don't know. I just don't know where he fits right now. Honestly, I think he brings a little bit more value than a lot more value than Eddie or Stuart Fairchild, but I don't know. I think he stays down there for a while. Verdugo has been the spark that we all needed. Obviously, people weren't happy with him taking the day off yesterday, stunting the momentum, but the Rockies outfield is spacious, and not having a spring training and the high altitude and all that stuff, it happens. Gross losses happen. We hate them, but they happen. The White Sox beat the Brewers today like 9-0. That's just baseball. And Chase Dollander had some really good stuff. So you got to tip your cap, and it was just a gross day. And we hit some balls hard that were right at him again. I think the baseball god's paying us back for all the infield hits and things that we've gotten away with lately. So you know what? They kind of all even out, and like I said, 14 and 16. Given the musical chairs of our roster and everything that's gone wrong and everything, I think we all take it and run and try to build momentum. Just keep winning series, stacking the W's, and I think we'll be fine. Money Mike's looked really good the last week and a half or so. I think ultimately, you have to put Sean Murphy 5, and then if Drake Baldwin's in there, I think you put Money Mike 5 or 6. But I think Ozzie needs to be 7 right now until he figures out the runners and scoring position thing. But yeah, as much as Money Mike struggled early on this season with the runners and scoring position and the big hits, it's starting to happen. He is, but when you move Verdugo or give Verdugo a day off, that's the only guy that you can think of to. I guess you could put Ozzie in the leadoff, which might not necessarily be a bad thing given how he's struggling, but I don't think Verdugo is going to get too many more off days. I mean, when Ronald comes back, we'll figure that out. Obviously, Eli White has been amazing. Now will it continue? I don't know, but he's been a solid piece, and I really like what he brings. He brings speed, the infield hit game, the bunting, all that stuff. He's kind of the outfield version of Nick Allen, and I really appreciate that. And I like the fact that it feels like that everybody has embraced the roles, even even Orlando being a weirdo wacko cheerleader on the bench, kind of the Guillermo Heredia of it all. And it is what it is, but I think the bullpen roles have kind of calmed down as well. Scott Blewett has been amazing, for sure, and I hope we can get some revenge on the Dodgers as well. But Rafael Montero has been solid. Yeah, he's had some walk issues, but I think those are starting to. Allen's not going to start every game, so we're going to have to deal with Arcia just like maybe Eddie Rosario or Stuart Fairchild at times. But yeah, Nick Allen has earned that starting shortstop spot right now for sure. And actually, technically, he's put up better defensive and offensive numbers than Dansby right now. I know it's an early sample size, but that has been probably the biggest surprise that I'm very happy about. Obviously, people are freaking out because we didn't hit a homer. Ugh, don't even think about Lopez, Charles. It'll be a while. Unfortunately, that's just a while thing. It's not a Tommy John, but it's going to be a while. June at the earliest, probably not. All-Star break or later, if we're lucky. If I remember that correctly. Really? Wow. Jake Burger to AAA. The Rangers have made some interesting moves of late. They also DFA'd Dane Dunning, which he could be an option for the Braves as a hybrid starter reliever because he did get a save the other night or last night. And yes, AJ Minter got that New York luck. Yeah. I don't know. Yesterday I'm fine with the way the series went, but it was weird. I mean, we got 28 hits and doubles, triples, all that in the first two, and then it just really went weird. AJ Smith-Shawver is fine. I think it caught the meaty part of his elbow, so I think we're good there. God, his splitter is devastating when it's moving and grooving. That's one of the nastier pitches that I've seen. Yeah, I think I want to give more credit to Dolander and Bird and I don't know if there was a glare or whatever. It was weird that we didn't hit more homers, but we did hit balls hard and we got rewarded for them. So I'm not gonna freak out too much. It was weird though. And AJ Minter having a lat issue, possibly a ending injury, and he started out so well. That is a tough break. And I think they're going to lose their other lefty reliever, Danny Young, as well. So the Mets have gotten off to an amazing start, but they've still got a lot of things to work through, so we'll see. Obviously, the Griffin Canning of it all doesn't look great from the Braves' perspective, but he has given up the third highest hard hit rate still, even though the results are what the results. Yes. Let's see what else. Yes, Chris Sale looked great yesterday. Take that as a positive. I wish that Baldwin didn't call the changeups, because that's the only pitch that pretty much got beat on except that one fastball. But it's very encouraging. And you know what? Weird games in baseball happen that make no sense. Yeah, I think the Dodgers have 13 pitchers. 13 pitchers injured, which that's insane. And that's not a good thing. I don't care how many, how much you can open up your checkbook. That is not a good thing. So yeah, it'll be interesting how everything shakes out. But there's a lot of teams that are in that 14 and 16 or 16 and 14, 16 and 15 mold of it all. Everybody's dealing with something or the other. No, the Dodgers have had injury issues the last 4 or 5 years. They've just gotten away with it. That's just how Chris Sale does it. He just doesn't. He just never has. That's his preference. Yeah, I mean, we did start off slow and devastatingly bad. I just how every game has gone, but or how the first 7 went was for sure not great and ugly. But we've kind of settled back and just keep stacking the W's and stacking the series wins. That's all that matters. And the Dodgers have always had injuries. They've just been able to pay their way out of it, which is fine. But I just don't think that's the right model to do a baseball team. That's just my preference. But to each his own. They're winning. They're doing their thing. But it is what it is. Charlie Morton being moved to the bullpen is sad. I wish he would have retired last year just because it's been such a struggle for him. And very just gross to watch. He's in the bullpen. Talk about starting pitching issues. The Orioles really can't breathe. They're down 7-0 before they get to the plate a lot. That's been my most surprising in the wrong direction. My most surprising in the positive direction would probably be in the positive, I think the A's being where they are right now, 16 and 15. The Angels are struggling again. Mike Trout on the IL, I think, where he left with knee issue yesterday, which again, blah. But the Angels are getting roasted for their travel and how they handle that. And yesterday they had 2 pitchers come in at once, I think. So it's going rough over there. Seattle's picked it up big time. And finally, kind of having an offense to complement their amazing pitching. The Giants have been a nice surprise. Verlander hasn't been great, but it hasn't been terrible either. And as much as I've talked about this, I think it is what it is right now. I think we can all agree that we'd rather have something more stable starting, for sure. But I think that the biggest surprise in the bullpen, probably De Los Santos. I know I know he should probably exclusively throw his slider, but De Los Santos has been good. Um, Scott Blewett has kind of stabilized things. The biggest surprise in the negative way is probably Raisel Iglesias, but it's kind of hard to back up a year like he had last year. So we'll hope that he has a little bit more efficient and um, less adventures in the ninth. Yeah, we'll see. Usually by Memorial Day is when everybody looks at the standings to see where you are and what you are, kind of. So July 5th is a good measuring stick too. Yeah. So yeah, he did. He's I think he'll be fine. I mean, like I said, it's hard to back up the amazing year he had last year. And you're aging and all that stuff. The baseball gods kind of tap you on the shoulder always. And yeah, Montero, as long as he's the GPS calibrated, he's pretty solid. But it like I said and like I've called it, it's a box of chocolates. It always has been, at least this year. And but if you look at it, I mean, the moves that we've chosen to make, like letting go Travis, he's barely playing for the Angels. AJ Minter with the injury. Uh, that's cool, Joseph. My entire family almost is in May, so whatever date it is, I'm sure it's somebody's birthday. I had mine on Sunday, so but yeah, they're a good tandem. They have fun, and it's great to see. You Joseph, you said Jake Berger went down. I think Cincinnati sent down Alexis Diaz. Kenta Maeda was DFA'd for Detroit. I think there's a lot more musical chairs and surprising struggles from a lot of guys across the league. So I don't think it's just the Braves. And I think we've done a pretty nice job of patchworking the holes. Obviously, you can't replace the productivity of Strider or Ronald Acuna Jr. easily, but I think we've done a nice job of placing those. And obviously, maybe we should have thought about Quintana or Andrew Heaney or maybe even Griffin Canning, but I think we've got a lot more right in letting go this offseason than we did wrong, or maybe it's even, but and obviously you want us to add more and things of that nature, but I think we're in a good spot, especially given how everything started. Like I said, you just got to take it one game at a time, one series at a time, and 4 straight series wins is a great thing in my book. And yeah, the broadcast team is fantastic. I think we've definitely upgraded there. I didn't like Frenchie's comments. Yeah, well, it's the Dodgers, so you knew we were gonna be. It's not. It is what it is. It's not my favorite either, but. And I think, Joseph, you said that the Canes and the Caps play. That'll be a intense, interesting series for sure. I hope Tom Wilson stays not annoying. and gives us a chance. I hope Freddie's back. Freddie Anderson. Yeah, the radio broadcast is awesome too. We've done a really nice job on the media side with the Braves. For a while. And obviously, most recently, adding CJ and having Paul back and Brandon and all those guys. They're awesome. Darren O'Day, Ben Ingram, all those guys are fantastic. I think I meant to say it earlier, but I think the Giants are my biggest surprise on the positive side because usually they, probably tomorrow, Joseph, with Kimbrel, because there's 2 roster spots on the 40s, so that might be a thing tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know, but pretty likely that that'll be the case. The Giants usually wait till even years to get rolling, but with Buster Posey, Pat Burrell being a part of things, they've got some good young bloods up there as well. It's kind of fun and San Diego came back down to earth a little bit, but still solid with all their injuries. The Cubs, solid, but I don't know if they can withstand any more pitching injuries because they're already down Justin Steele. Was Jake Burger struggling that bad? I'm surprised Jock Peterson hasn't gotten sent down. Wasn't he in like an 0 for 41 slide or something? So that's a little strange from Texas's perspective. And Cincinnati's been kind of weird. They either don't score a lot, or get smoked. So that's kind of a interesting team. Brewers are meddling, weird. They're usually really solid defensively, and they've kind of fallen off a little bit. The Nationals are pesky. They're living up to the name. Phillies, they're in the middle. They're middling. Yeah, Matt Olson should just get a Gold Glove already. The amount of amazing catches he's made is off the charts. And amount of plays he's made off the charts in general. Just been really amazing throughout. So Detroit's been really fun. I'd like that. Kansas City, they're kind of middling too. There's a ton of middling teams that kind of either haven't hit their stride or is going to be what it is. I'm not sure. But for as much as a weird puzzle piece, fitting, moving pieces season this has been so far, I think obviously you want to be in a better spot, but I think the Braves are in a really, really fine spot given everything. So, and like I said, Alex Anthopoulos never stops trying to improve, and you do still have the $6.9 million with the Jurickson Profar suspension, so that might be used at some point. Yeah, Austin Riley's been really solid. I still don't know how he made that play to end the Arizona game. I thought that's one that you typically just stick in your pocket. But that was an amazing scoop, an amazing play. Just you would like a little bit more consistency from Austin because he did have 41 strikeouts, which you don't like to see offensively, but the ebbs and flows as it goes. But I can't wait till Ronald comes back. Because I think Verdugo White or Verdugo Money Mike and Ronald Acuna Jr. is a solid outfield. Plus, you have the trust more in Eli White. Whenever this happens, you have the trust more in Eli White. The speed, the defense, the good at bat, whether it results in positivity or not. I think the depth and the versatility will be better than anything we've had in a while. And Ronald just frankly brings a presence to the roster. You put him in the leadoff spot. Probably Riley. Yeah, that catch. Probably it definitely saved a big time rally and sweat box for all of us. You got what? Ronald, Riley, Ozuna, Olsen, Verdugo, Murphy, Ozzy, Allen ish, maybe something like that. But the depth and especially how yesterday notwithstanding, but how much better, deeper at bats that are happening throughout the lineup. Even Ozzy, I know he's struggling with the pop up, but you've seen him walk a little bit more. He has. Eli has been amazing. And that creates a lot of tougher decisions that you like to see that I don't think any of us anticipated. But you appreciate it and you appreciate how it's happened. Obviously, you'd like more depth in the rotation that you could trust. But again, just going with the fact that they're keeping us in the ball games for the most part, and the magic eighth inning for a lot of the time has paid off, and we're giving opponents scary innings much more frequently than in the beginning of the year, which thank goodness, because I think all of us were gonna pull our hair out, and games like yesterday will happen, but realizing that the pitcher's in trouble and not you, I think that we've kind of figured that one out, which is nice. And I think the clubhouse is really good, and I think that matters, especially with so many moving pieces and things of that nature. I hope the Ronald of it all just kind of irons itself out, and we figured that out and move on. But I can tell you, I do not want Mark DeRosa as the manager of the Atlanta Braves after Brian Snitker retires. Everything that comes out of his mouth is like anti-Acuna, anti-Braves, and really annoying. So, yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be Walt Weiss or David Ross still. But who knows? I don't think Iglesias is, well, I mean, he's hanging his slider too much. I think it's more execution on his stuff than anything, and that's the simple answer, obviously. But again, like I said earlier, it's really hard to bounce back from or it's really hard to repeat the fantastic year that he had last year, if we're being honest. So it's just execution, and I know Roycel knows it, and he'll continue to work on it. They're all not trying to be bad, and the fact that Elder has refined his two-seam grip tells you that they continue to work. They continue to try to iron out the issues, and that they care, and that's all that you really can ask for. And the patchwork rotation, the patchwork bullpen, everything's kind of starting to fall into place a little bit. And the 4 series wins definitely reflect that. And I think that's great. And hopefully we can do it to the Dodgers. Yeah, Nick Allen's been fantastic. A big surprise, a very big, good surprise. And I think that everything is going the way it should. And we've gotten most of our big time West Coast trips out of the way, so that could help as well. I think the only one, maybe San Francisco is the last one, so that'd be great. But I think, yeah, like I said, we're trending, and as bad as April started, we're in a great spot. And that has not changed. Aaron Judge is amazing. I think he's batting like .417 right now, which is insane, but Aaron Judge is amazing. Juan Soto's struggling a little bit, but Juan Soto's numbers will still be there. I just don't know why he's playing so much in right field. I know we threw out Castellanos the other day, but he's still a full DH to me. But like I said, we haven't seen the Mets yet, so we'll see how that one shakes out. But there's just so many teams. Everything's sort of bunched up, and anybody can beat anybody on any given day. Anybody can have a career day, and I think that's the beauty of baseball and the constant unknown. But every single baseball game you watch is a new page to a story that you might always remember historically. So I think that's what this year has kind of already taught us with the Eugenio Suarez 4-homer game, but still losing. Yeah, I think that we only have maybe one more. I'm not sure. It's not great, but gives you something to watch really late, that's for sure. What else we got? Let's see. I think that's all I got, but it's only 39 minutes or so, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully Ronald, we get an update on Ronald soon. I am a little concerned on Hurston Waldrep. He is struggling down in AAA. Maybe they try him in the bullpen, because it just is not clicking right now in the starting rotation. The walks or any of that. He's struggling really bad, so that might be a story to follow. Because he's supposed to be one of our bigger pieces, but he might turn into one of the bigger, higher leverage guys in the bullpen if we decide to go that route, and it looks like that is the route. Yes, we play the Yankees this year, I think in June sometime. Not quite sure, but I think it's then sometime. Yeah, I think yeah, definitely June. Max Fried has been amazing for them, but the Braves were never going to pay $218 million regardless. We just never have, especially for a starting pitcher. And gotta give Max credit. He was working through the myriad of injuries he had last year and probably still dealing with all that. So, to kind of put everything aside, and the Yankees really needed it with all their injuries and losing Garrett Cole, so that's huge for them. So, Boston's been solid-ish, but their starting rotation has been up and down for sure. And I believe Walker Buehler is going for shoulder testing. So something little wonky there, which that could be a devastating blow. Given they did get Lucas Giolito back last night. He had a good 6 innings, but then their bullpen ended up blowing it a 6-0 lead in the middle innings against the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are another meddling middle team. Yeah, well, high five, Ghost. I think that we've done a pretty darn good job of it, given as much musical chairs as there has been. I think we're in a solid spot, and but yeah, hopefully everything kind of calms down and just kind of gets a flow. Is there a team that I have not touched on? Let's see. Tommy John surgery for Garrett Cole. That was way back in spring training, so that's on. I mean, that's why Max Fried has been. I mean, has been his start has been so crucial to what they've done. The Pittsburgh Pirates are still the Pittsburgh Pirates. Paul Skeens has struggled a little bit more this year, but I think that's just a product of having the book out. And teams can time a jet. If you leave a meatball fastball, they're probably going to crush it more times than not. And I think the Pirates not adding too much offensively again has hurt their brand, and everybody wants him to sell the team and all that stuff. I think I touched on every single team. If I have not, the Marlins, Sandy Alcantara is struggling, which I'm not really surprised, because sometimes it takes a year, aka Max Fried, to. Now, well, I don't think it's. I don't like it, but the Braves were never gonna pay $218 million for Max Fried, so it is what it is. But sometimes you struggle more when it comes to the year after Tommy John, trying to figure things out, and then the year after that you return to your best form. So that could be a thing for Sandy Alcantara, and I still think he'll get traded and that'll kind of probably help him kind of reset and all of that. The Twins feel like probably a month from when it happened, probably, I would guess, just because even though it's the lowest grade hamstring problem, in grade 1, it usually those soft tissue things take a while. So yeah, that would be my guess. So we will see there, and hopefully he can. And that was just a freak thing, playing catch and batting practice, just warming up, and or stretching for the next start. It's just kind of one of those snake bit type things. I'm loving seeing Byron Buxton be amazing for the Twins, even if they're not necessarily amazing. But I mean, like I said, there's a ton of teams that are kind of in a logjam of meddling and struggling stars like Devin Williams, Juan Soto, for his standards, things of that nature. So I think everything starts to even out, but it's definitely nice to have parity, and you never know what's going to happen in baseball on a given day and a given night. What? What do you mean? What do I think of them? Oh, you mean who was the best? Uh, Terry Pendleton was good. I'd probably say TP. Yeah. So yeah, I think Terry Pendleton probably. Yeah. So think but I do think the umpires got to be I think the umpires have got to be a little bit better. I don't know if they know, because they know that the whatchamacallit, they know that the ABS challenge system is coming. I wonder if they're just making terrible calls on, not on purpose, but to know that they can affect the game as much as they can. Yeah, Vinny Castillo was good too. They're just kind of affecting the game as much as they can with so many at bat and game altering calls, and the check swings have not gone the Braves' way. Yeah, the Pittsburgh Pirate fan, that was jarring. Hopefully he's okay. I didn't get an update. But it it's a sad, tragic situation, and I hope for the best, but just got to be careful. Um, he got excited, but and it happens. But I wish his friends were kind of closer to But again, those situations are sad and unpredictable, and tragedy happens. Worst trade? Well, probably the worst signing is probably BJ Upton. I don't know about worst trade. The Adam Wainwright trade's probably up there for JD Drew, even though JD Drew was awesome. Well, at least, okay, thanks for the update. JD Drew was good for a year, but Adam Wainwright was good for 20 plus, so I think that's probably one of the worst ones we've made. Um, um, but but yeah, I mean the Braves have made some bad ones, but made some really good ones too. So and our international scouting has been really good. So more good than bad, thankfully for the Braves. But you're not ever gonna bat 1,000 when it comes to that stuff. Um, but so um, Justin wasn't a flop. BJ was definitely a flop. It was cool though. It just didn't work. It happens. Um, but all of the playoffs have been amazing, and trying to keep up with all that plus the baseball plus everything. It's a sports fan's dream. So I'm very happy about that for sure. But okay. Mm, but should let's see. We got the Dodgers, and then I believe David Justice. I don't know what he's doing now. Um, um, I don't know what we have the. I think we have the Dodgers and the Reds, so this could be a interesting homestand for sure. Um, I have no idea where David Justice is now. Um, but but yeah, I think that's all I got. I know I usually try to stick for an hour, so I guess I can try to stick for 6 more minutes. But I don't have anything else unless you guys have questions or. Oh, for sure. Those highlights are always are always amazing on the YouTube. Um, I wasn't born until '96, so Thank goodness for social media and YouTube. But now we have the highlights of. That's nice. Nats being pesky. Nats have some good young bloods. I love James Wood. Yep. I love James Wood. Dylan Cruz, I think, is finding it. But Mackenzie Gore, being the strikeout guy that he has become, is cool. I think that San Diego's, I mean, they've had some good trades, but they've really traded a lot of their good pieces. Yeah, I've been a Braves fan since I could remember, so. Yeah. Um, but having an early day game, losing the way we did, and then having an off day, it's kind of bougie, but it's a good thing in a way. I wonder though. I wonder if we will go outside the organization for the replacement for Snicker, or just go Walt Weiss, which is what I've thought of for a while. But either way, I think it'll be fine. And fun and interesting how that follows. And I think Brian Snicker will still be a consultant or an advisor or something in the organization, because he's been there so long. It'll just be interesting when he finally hangs it up. Probably after next year or this year, I would say. But since he probably doesn't want fanfare, we won't even know until. It's not going to be a decision he makes during this season, I assume. So, but yeah, worst to first is always fun to relive for sure. No, I don't think I want Wash. All the crazy crap that's gone on with the Angels, their travel, and all that stuff, I don't think I want that. I know the Angels aren't the greatest organization, but I just don't think I want that clown show kind of reverting back. I like Wash. I love Wash, but I just don't think. I thought he was good in his first stint with Texas, but I thought it would be more awesome as a manager, and I think he's kind of flopped. I think, yeah, I think I think Wash would just be too much. I think it's gonna be ultimately Walt Weiss, but and if it is Wash, I'll have to wait and see and try to get on board with it. I think he's better as a coach, because you're trying to can't strangle it too much, if that makes sense. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when it comes to it, and I know the Braves will try to do the right thing as always. But that is really all I got. So as always, go Braves, champions forever. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Helps out a lot. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I will probably use my phone from now on, so there will not be any internet issues. So that'll make everything easier. I appreciate it. As always, go Braves. How do you end it? Oh.